Hello and welcome to Nothing Ever Works.
The podcast.
I just need to, turn this away from me. No, I can't do that because if it stops working, I won't know. I'm sorry if this sounds like shit. I don't know what it sounds like because nothing ever works.
I'm here, and I'm not helping at all.
37. I'm here to rant a little bit. And see your thoughts. I would like to see your thoughts.
I mean, that would be pretty neat, honestly.
Yeah? I don't know if anybody would want to see my thoughts.
I don't think anybody should see my thoughts.
I feel like we all know that I'm just horny all the time. And, you think that's a joke, but, I'm literally thinking about sex, 95% of the time.
Yeah, same. But what if you could, actually, project your thoughts, on purpose?
I would do it on accident and it would be a problem.
No, but, if you could only do it on purpose, and then you could, hook into something, and then your brain can be like, this is what I'm thinking. And then people would be like, oh, shit, okay.
I would use that to record my dreams.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Because
I would love to watch your dreams.
Me too. I forget a lot of them, and then I'm like, fuck, there was something else. Sometimes I just wake up, and I'm like, I know that I was dreaming, but I cannot for the life of me remember what I was dreaming about, and it drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah,
there's
just me all the time.
You get a sort of vibe from your dreams, or I do anyway. I wake up and I'm just, kind of stuck. If I wake up from a dream, especially interesting ones, I'm sort of stuck in, just this vibe. And I just have this, feel. And I'm like, yeah, I like this. I like to be in this space. And then sometimes I just wake up and I'm, there, and I'm like, okay, but,
what happened?
Yeah, where did this come from? So, yeah, that'd be pretty cool if I could record my dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would want to project my thoughts because they're so unpredictable that even if I was intentionally you gotta be hooked up to the thing or whatever, however it works. I'd be probably start out thinking about whatever I wanted to show people, and then it would just evolve into porn. See, because it's always just porn.
That's what my dreams are. 95% of it is just you horny. Cheers to that. So we're drinking hot cocoa because it's kind of chilly today. It was just the undertones were chilly today.
Yeah. It was windy and the wind, it was hot outside, but the wind was chilly instead of hot. And it's the changing of the seasons, man.
Yeah, it was chilly until 11 this morning. And it was delectable.
Yeah.
To be weird about it,
It was good. And then even again this evening, when we left to go to the store, it was ooh.
It's pretty nice. It's chilly and
so it's cool enough for hot chocolate.
Yeah, I'm here for it.
So anyway, I've been thinking about this a lot lately because I have been utilizing Spotify for what Spotify is for. And trying to find kind of specific vibes in songs for a particular playlist, which is great. Spotify is great for that. But my struggle is the thing that I want to rant about, just point blank, is that streaming services for music have low-key ruined the music industry, in my opinion, because it's great for me, the consumer, to have all of this access. It's awesome. But it also encourages the artists to only put out singles. And only, be going for, singles and EPs that are just going to get a lot of plays. So when I'm looking for, a vibe for a playlist or whatever, and I find one song, I'm sick. I want more of this. I want to go see the album that this song came off of because I want the story, the overarching story that is the album. And there's no album. There's never a fucking album. And it makes me so upset. I feel like it used to be, I mean, when it was before streaming was like the main source of music. Artists would put together like a full album, and this album has like an overarching theme and more or less tells a story. Oops, let me just hit my mic. And we just don't get that anymore. It's all just like what is the single? Let me pump out singles to get lots of plays, and like what sound can I make that's gonna get picked up by TikTok, because TikTok is a big problem here too. Like, as much as those things like really boost the, I guess maybe it helps the artists. I don't know. From what I understand, they really don't get like any money from streaming services either. It's like you get half a penny per play or some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it depends on the artist, I'm sure, but versus getting like the actual revenue from your album being sold. Also, I just can't, it's like so hard to buy CDs anymore. And I like to have CDs. Why would I buy a CD when nobody ever puts out any fucking albums? So,
I mean, those points are valid, but it's a lot about convenience. And I know that, like, albums take a lot of work, and not everybody has, like, the same theme for, like, 12 songs in an album to, like, do that. You know what I mean? Like, they don't have that type of work. I don't want to say work ethic. It's like, it's something like workflow.
And that's valid, and that's why like singles have been a thing for always.
Yeah.
But it's like literally, like if I go on Spotify and look for an artist that has only been making music for the past like maybe since like around 2016 or whenever Spotify really became like the main source of music. Spotify and Pandora, iHeartRadio, whatever, all this stuff has been around for a minute, but like when iTunes moved out and Spotify moved in, like around that time. So, you know, the last, I guess, like 6 or 8 years. If I look up an artist that only started making music around that time, almost all of their stuff will be singles.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like older artists, and I'm not trying to be like, oh, they don't do it like they used to, because I don't think it is that the artist necessarily is like, I don't think that the artists are being greedy. I don't want to make it sound like that.
Yeah.
But it's like streaming has made the market like that. So that's the market that they have to work with.
Yeah.
Like versus a lot of older, even still older musicians or bands and stuff, they still will build an album, but they release it in singles.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, Frank Turner is working on a new album, and like at least half of the songs on the album will be singles before the actual album comes out. And like all of the other older artists that I follow do the same thing because that's sort of the market, which is fine. But then it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I like, you know, having that whole kind of story that is an album. And I feel like we're moving away from that almost altogether. Like, so few newer artists actually write albums. And I think that's very sad.
Yeah, I mean...
And, like, their music doesn't flow together. And this is another thing. It's like I mentioned TikTok. Love TikTok, don't get me wrong. And it's a great way to get your stuff out. But there are so many artists now that's like a thing in the industry that it's like, I'm making music that will blow up on TikTok so that I can make money off of this song. Which again, I'm not gonna like make money off your shit, absolutely. Yeah. But like when you're making music for that and not making the music that like you want, you're not like making the sound that you want, you're like making sounds that will blow up or go viral. I think it's sad to me because I feel like we could have so much more variety and better music if that's wasn't what the market was, you know?
I understand that point of view.
like, again, there's nothing wrong with singles. They've been a thing forever, and sometimes it's just like, I just needed this song to be out.
Yeah.
Like, I had to get this out of me, and here it is.
For me, it's like, I like it being that way because I think it's like it related to ADD because I'm just like I can't go through a whole album like I won't. I will get bored of the sound and I have to find something else. Like I do the same thing with my Discover Weekly on Spotify. Like I hear all of this and it all just sounds the same. So I don't listen to it. And then I just don't pay attention to any of the lyrics and I feel like I don't enjoy the music until it's like singular. And then I really take the time to like enjoy each song as an individual.
See, I feel like I do that with albums too, though. And I feel like that's kind of part of the thing is like, I mean, that's one of the things to look forward in an album coming out instead of being like, oh, so and so dropped a new song and now I have one. I have one new song. Versus like, oh, they put out an album and now I have 12 different songs that like, they're all individual songs and they all sound different. But then, like, when you put them together, it tells a story. You know what I mean? Because it's like, I don't want to say it's like it sounds the same, because even like I could pull an album and be like, all of these songs have like a completely different, like I'll use fucking now I can't think of the album title. No Man's Land, Frank Turner. Every single song is a completely different musical style, but it still tells an overarching story and it all flows. You know what I mean? Like it's the flow and the vibe of the album that like really makes it. It's not that every song needs to sound the same or even have the same style, but like it goes together.
Yeah, it fits together.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I just want there to be able to be a mix of these things.
Yeah.
Like, what was it before we were talking about that it was just like things just need to be balanced.
Yeah.
And just like
like, why does it have to be one or the other? Why can't we work with both?
Yeah.
Like, why can't we push both?
Well, and especially I think, with like COVID, they can't like go on tours and things like that.
And I think a lot of it too, like with streaming, is that I think that a big reason that a lot of artists don't make albums is just because it takes longer. So it's like all this time that you spend making your album is time that you're spending not making money because you're not streaming a new song. Versus like if you write a new song every couple of months and put it out, then now you're like boosting your numbers every time a song comes out instead of it being like once a year, every 2 years or whatever, whenever you finish your album.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Yeah. I'm thinking, if I was a musical artist, I want that instant gratification though, like too. Like if I finish something, I immediately post it. You know, like I want the feedback immediately. I want all the stuff like immediately. And if I was a musical artist, I'd probably do the same thing and just do singles. Like there's a lot of reasons why it's like this, but it is like, I get you. Like I like themed albums. I like albums in general.
And it also just like, again, and this is a materialistic thing, but I like to have them. But like, I'm not gonna go out and buy every single that you put out because that's too much. Like, I don't want a CD with one song on it.
Yeah.
That's silly. And then even if you like, you know, you have all these singles that you put out and then you put out a CD that is a collection, but it doesn't flow. And so like it doesn't always sound right. You know what I mean? To just put them all together. And that's kind of a struggle too, again, with like the TikTok-esque issue. That's like less of a Spotify thing, but like writing songs to be viral and then all of your songs, they don't sound like they came from the same person.
Yeah.
Or like either that or they all, like everyone sounds like the same person. depending on how you look at it.
Mm.
But like, you know, you go, because I run into that a lot too, where I find a new song and I'm like really vibing with this song, so then I go check out the artist and I don't like any of the other music. And
Yeah.
it's like too common, you know, for that to be a thing, because it's like every song you make has a completely different sound and you don't sound like the same artist, like you don't have a consistent style.
Mm.
And that's
See,
a struggle.
I like, on one hand, yeah, I get it. I find that a lot. But on the other hand, I'm like, my art's the same way. So, like, I'll play with a lot of different styles, and sometimes it doesn't look like
I'm
the
just
same
saying,
person.
you might think that, but I can identify your art like
I'm just
pretty
like,
consistently. I think you might feel that way because you haven't like personally defined your art style, but like it's there for sure.
Yeah. Well, like, it's not always the same mood, you know? So having lots of different styles with your music is probably good. It's versatile.
Yeah, but there's like the underlying like again, Frank Turner wrote a whole album that they all are completely different style, but it's like you can tell it's the same person,
Mm.
you know? Like you have a particular like vibe or feel about your stuff.
Yeah. I mean, like,
That it's like, again, it's not like all of your songs need to sound the same, and you can do different things and experiment with different things, but then it's like you don't sound like you. Let's put it that way. You sound like whoever is most popular right now. It's
I mean,
almost like
that,
emulating.
yes, I get. But, like, if your music sounds different, like, that's not a bad thing, in my opinion. You know, like,
Yeah, well,
if your
I'm not
music
saying
is,
that like
different.
having a variety in your music is a bad thing. Just like you know, going back to albums, like every album should sound different.
Yeah.
You know, but it still sounds like you. Like I guess I don't know how to describe it in a way that makes sense to someone else.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's a lot of good and bad that comes with the streaming. Like, I don't want to have a bunch of CDs. I don't.
Yeah, like as a consumer, absolutely. I can't afford to buy all of the things. And like here's when I say I like to have the albums, it's really just for like the core artists that I like consistently follow.
Yeah.
But I do really like being able to go on and just like it's introduced me to so many artists that I wouldn't have found otherwise, because it's like if they're not on popular radio, you don't hear them, and if you don't get that station here, well, like none of the artists that I know and love are on any of the stations that we can get here. So it's like, you know,
it's like you're just SOL if you don't have like streaming service or like internet, really.
Yeah. And like I've found so much good stuff. Like for me, the consumer, it's great.
Yeah.
Generally. But I also just it's like
it's hurting the industry in a way that is not always prominent.
Yeah.
Until you are looking at these things and until you're a part of it, you know.
Well, and I've listened to like some YouTubers that I follow who have made music kind of talk about it, and they're like, yeah, like I can make more money off of like a shit video that I posted than I can, you know, that got like crazy low amount of views compared to my other stuff, to my other videos. I can make more off of this video than I can from like a song that I have millions and millions of listens on. And like that's fucked up.
Yeah, that's really messed up. So how do these artists make money?
Right. Selling crap.
Yep.
Which I happily buy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, but like
here's the thing, merch is expensive though. Like there's so much merch that I want. Like every time artists that I follow post stuff, I'm like, absolutely I want that. But I cannot afford to spend $50 on a hoodie. Sorry.
Yeah. Right.
Like Rise Against for a while, I don't know if they still do, but they had these like really nice flannels that had their logos on them, and they looked really cool. And I was like, yes, but they were like $45 for a shirt, and I was like, I can't do that.
Holy shit. Yeah, I feel like there needs to be like some sort of revolution in the music industry because it is art, you know? Like, I wish that they would be able to set their own rates like any other artist.
Yeah.
You know? And with some things you can, but not just generally listening.
Yeah.
Like through Spotify.
Yeah. And that's part of the thing too. Like, again, I use Spotify every day. Like, I'm using it constantly. I don't want Spotify to not exist.
I just don't want it to be like a horrible corporate monopoly like Amazon.
Yeah.
I want it to pay its workers.
Like, what is happening almost? Like, because there's even other streaming services, but, like, Spotify is, like, the one. You know, like, there's Pandora has been around longer, I think, and, like, iHeartRadio, so. My mom uses that one. Mm-hmm. But, like, Spotify is, like, the big one.
Guy.
And it's like, you know, again, not everybody wants to have a billion CDs, and I get that. Because, like, I don't really want a billion CDs either. I just want to buy the ones that are, like, important to me, I guess. But, like, that it's kind of screwed the artists where, you know, everyone wants to use Spotify instead because, you know, I can pay you $10 a month or whatever to have all the music.
All the time.
All of it. Instead of, like, if I spent $10 a month on CDs, I would have 12 CDs in a year, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, it's great for us, but then it, like, screws the artists because it's like, why would I buy your album when I could just listen to it on Spotify or whatever?
Yeah.
It's like...
Dude, the last time I bought a CD, it wasn't even from me.
Like... Yeah, honestly, I only... One of the big reasons that I buy CDs now is just because there's a CD player in my car.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't have a CD player.
Yeah, I didn't have a CD player for a long time, so I was like, well, I guess I'm just not going to buy these. And then I had one in my car, and I'm like, I have a reason to buy stuff. And I like stuff. But, like, I don't know. It almost feels like legal pirating.
It does feel like legal pirating.
Because it's like, I know that they're hardly making any money off of this, and so they have to push all of their other stuff so much harder because no one's buying the CDs, or like few and far between anyway. More often than not, like people, I feel like that's part of the reason that vinyls are so expensive.
Yeah.
Because they're not worth that much money, really. Like, you know, back in the day when vinyl records were like the way to go, you know, before CDs and cassettes, they were not expensive. And now it's like $20-$30 for one album.
Yeah.
When it used to be like $5. Or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Granted inflation, but like, it's not that much. But I almost feel like that's part of the reason is like, A, because you can monopolize off of, or capitalize off of nostalgia and stuff. But B, because, like, if you're going to buy my physical album and you're going to buy this giant, stupid thing, not that vinyls are stupid, but, you know, who has space for that?
Artsy people.
I say as if I would not buy them if I had space.
You probably would.
I would. Because, honestly, I would buy the vinyls just because I want to hang up the artwork. Like, there's a lot of them that I want because the cover art is really pretty.
Yeah.
And, like, you know, it's still pretty when it's on a CD case, but it's also, like, 4 inches by 4 inches. I'm not going to hang that up. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I can't see it very well. So it's just, you know. So, yeah, I'm not, like, shitting on anybody who's buying albums, or vinyls, because I would, if I could afford it, and if I had room for, like, a good record player. But anyway... I keep just getting distracted halfway through my point or my thought. Like, I feel like that's part of the reason they're so expensive, though, is because it's like, well, we can't make money off of our songs, like, streaming, not really. So we'll sell this overpriced thing because people will buy it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's valid. I don't know, like, a solution to this because I'd be pissed if Spotify was more expensive, you know? Like,
yeah.
I wouldn't be able to afford it.
Yeah.
I'm like, how?
I don't either. I don't know how they finance anything or like how it's distributed or what.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm
So
like,
I have no idea.
How do other streaming services work? Because like,
well, a lot of it's ad revenue too, because I know like Pandora is their premium or whatever you want to call it is considerably cheaper, but they also don't have, or at least I haven't used Pandora in a long time. I used to use it a lot, and then I started using Spotify because you could build playlists and you couldn't do that on Pandora. So that's a big thing. I think that the only difference with theirs is that like the free one has ads and the one you pay for doesn't. So that's kind of it. And I think I don't know how iHeartRadio works, but I think it's basically the same as like Pandora.
Yeah.
But also, like with Spotify, I think the reason that one specifically is more expensive is A, because it's more popular. B, like you can do a little bit more because you can build the playlists and then you can also
like share
like
it.
specifically look up an artist and just listen to that artist instead of it just like generating a playlist for you like the other ones do. Or at least that's what they did. Like I said, I haven't used it in a long time.
Like TV streaming services, like how do they make money? Because like Netflix is like $15 a month, but it has like a bunch of shit on it. Like how are they not able to pay their artists?
Yeah,
that's what I want to know.
Like, yeah, it's like how does the payment work?
Yeah.
And like I'm sure it does vary by artist, like how popular you are. I'm sure more popular artists get more money, but like I know it's still not very much.
Yeah.
And that's why so many of them, even more popular artists, go on and they're like, hey, I just dropped a new song. Everyone go listen to it 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Because it's like, that's the only way that they're getting money out of it.
Yeah.
I don't have a solution either. Yeah. I just wanted to complain about it because I've been thinking about it a lot lately because...
What do you do?
Yeah. I've just been thinking about it a lot because, like I said, I'm like trying to curate a specific playlist. So then when it's like, I find a song and I'm like, yes, this song is perfect, this vibe is perfect, and then I want to go to the artist and find like more of that vibe, and then everything is totally different, and I'm like,
Damn.
What are you doing? Or I'm like, I want to go find the album to get like the rest of this like theme, and then there's no album, and it makes me sad. Yeah. Like again, I keep saying like, singles are not a problem, but not having albums is a problem. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And I also understand that a lot of people, that are able to post on Spotify now are just like they have a day job, you know? Yeah. Like I get that a lot of people just occasionally post a song because it's like they do that in their free time and they're like, I might as well put it on and see if I can get any money out of it, you know? Yeah. Like that's cool. And I'm not going to fault anybody for that either. And I'm sure that that's like one reason that there's just so many. Sorry. Somebody too into fucking bugs.
They're absolutely going fucking nuts in our house right now.
Bugs are such fun.
We need a lizard.
We do. Let's get a lizard.
Let's put a lizard in the entertainment center.
Okay. I'm down. We could put a lizard in one side, and we could put fish in the other side.
Ooh.
We just take the shelves out of the glass part, and we could build a terrarium in there.
Ooh. I'm here for that.
Yeah.
We'd have to box in the stuff, the glass.
Yeah.
Because it's got leaks.
Yeah. But, like, we could totally turn that into a terrarium. Oh, yeah.
I would love that. I don't think my dad would love it. But I think we should have a bearded dragon.
Yeah, I'm down. Anyway. So yeah, that's my rant on that. Just because I've been thinking about it. I keep thinking about it while I'm in the car, and I'm like, we should podcast about this. Just because I need to get this these thoughts out of my body.
Hmm. And generally, I agree with you, especially like the monetization of like being able to work as a musician
Yeah.
and only as a musician, you know?
Yeah.
Like
Like, it shouldn't rely on you having to put out new material every so often, like every certain amount of time. You should be able to take as much time as you need to write your music.
yeah. But it's not worth.
Yeah.
It's not worth it for you to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not worth the money because they probably are,
Yeah.
but like not worth it to do that.
Yeah. It just kind of comes down to like, why would I, make less money and spend all this time putting out an album when I could just put out singles, when I could put out the individual songs and make more money in the long run?
Yeah.
It's just a bummer.
It is.
It takes away the freedom to work, to do your work the way that
You want to.
you deserve to,
Yeah.
And that's not to say that a lot of people wouldn't just do that anyway. Because, like, if that's just how you do, that's fine. But I don't know. But anyway, since you brought up TV streaming, like Netflix and stuff, here comes the next thing. Total opposition. Netflix and shit have done more for TV. Have, like, made TV shows better, in my opinion.
Agree. Yeah.
Like, I hate watching TV.
Yeah.
Like, actual TV. There's, like, there's good stuff on there, obviously. Like, most cartoons, pretty solid.
Yeah.
But comparing, like, the young adult, like, series on TV versus the series that like, the exclusives on Netflix and Hulu, like,
Mm-hmm.
they're so good on the
They're
streaming
much better.
services.
Yeah.
And it feels like, and obviously it's like there are ups and downs. Like, there's horrible shows on there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's really good ones. But it almost feels like, I feel like this is total conjecture, but I feel like the writers have more freedom because they don't have to please the advertisers.
Yeah.
It's like we run into that same problem on YouTube where you can only make certain content or you can't make any money because you won't.
Because it's not monetized.
Yeah. And I feel like that's a big thing with, like, Netflix specifically, because Netflix is the only one that does not have an ad version.
Yeah.
At least right now. I know they've played with it before and people keep being like, fucking don't. And they're like, okay, all right. We'll charge you less money for some ads? No, bitch! Okay. Okay. I feel like it comes up every couple of years. They're like, do you want a cheaper ad version? And we're like, absolutely fucking not.
Stop it.
Get out of here with that bullshit. And they're like,
I'm so tired of everything being a goddamn ad.
Yeah.
I wake up, I look at my phone, it's an ad. I turn on a gaming console, it's an ad.
Yeah.
I try to draw, it's an ad. I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I just want to drive around and not look at ads for 500 hours.
Yeah. But I really feel like that's a big thing. Like, on TV, maybe it's less of a thing with other streaming services, like specifically Hulu, I feel like, because they don't, they have that ad version, but they do have an ad-free.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, how much their advertisers, like, have a say in their stuff. I honestly haven't seen really very many, like, Hulu exclusive shows. I'm mostly thinking of, like, Netflix.
Yeah.
They just have a lot of the TV shows.
Yeah.
But, like,
there is, like, a lot of HBO exclusives, though, which, like, is hand in hand with Hulu.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I feel like that has got to be a big thing, that they don't have to please the advertisers, so they can do more or less whatever they want.
Yeah.
And I just, wow. Tummy talking.
Who's talking?
Got a lot to say.
Yeah.
But, like, and again, like, there's definitely ups and downs. There's some bad shows on there, but, like, the good ones are so good.
Yeah, they are really good. I lost my train of thought. I was gonna say something and it's gone. I'm tired.
It do be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like you were saying, how can why does streaming make TV so much better and then it screws over the fucking musicians? How?
Because the product is different.
Yes.
Also, like, I wouldn't even mind paying for YouTube. Hear me out. No ads, and they actually support their creators. But I don't trust YouTube to do that.
Here's the thing. The whole point of YouTube in the beginning was that it was free for everyone, and I think it needs to stay that way.
I mean, yeah.
Like...
But I would also like another option to, like, remove the ads and, like, actually support the creators.
Yeah, and that's valid. I mean, that's what, like, YouTube Red is, or whatever it's called now. Premium, or... I don't know. But, like... The problem isn't that there are ads. Like, I totally get wanting to pay for an ad-free version, or, like, being open to paying for an ad-free version.
The amount of ads.
Yeah, it's
is wild.
fucking obnoxious. But the problem to me isn't even that there are ads on the platform. It's that the people who make the ads get to decide what else is on the platform.
Yeah.
That's what to me is unacceptable. Like,
are the ones
the people who are actually
things.
making the content and making the money for you don't get to make what they want to make because you decided that you don't like gay people or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, it's like there are so many obnoxious fucking rules, like, that the ad companies are like, you can't do this, you can't do this, we don't want to monetize this kind of content. And then the ads contain that content.
Yeah.
Like, not all of them, like, obviously the fucking weird porn game ads company are not the ones being like, no, you can't talk about sex on YouTube.
Yeah.
But, like, how are you gonna have these ads on here and then tell the creators that they can't, like, talk about sex education?
Yeah, no.
Like,
no. Or they're gonna get demonetized.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Or how are you gonna have, like, anti-LGBT, like, violent ads and then tell the creators that you can't make, like, educational LGBT content?
Yeah. I want there to be a filtration system for it. Like, that those type of ads should be on those type of videos. Like,
Yeah.
Like, specifically being able to say, yeah, my channel is usually, like, really, like, LGBT friendly, a lot of my audience is, like, it's like this. So these are the kind of ads that I would like to have on my channel. Because that's also, like, it should be a two-way street.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, is, like, it shouldn't be, we're not going to monetize your video because this guy is paying us to put the ads up and he doesn't like your content. It should be, I don't want this ad on my content, because you don't get to decide what ads are on your videos.
Yeah, no.
Like, and it's like a thing that a lot of, and I don't know if it is the same way on the opposite side, but there's a lot of creators that I follow who are, like, leftist political and, like, anti-religion, and then they will get, like, a lot of right-wing ads on their videos. And it's
targeting.
Like, or, like, there's one that I follow who he's like, commentator, but he's also trans, and so he talks about a lot of trans issues too. He just, like, takes the piss out of people and then talks about, like, LGBT issues and specifically trans issues. But he, like, regularly, I will get, like, anti-trans religious ads on his videos, and it's like,
ridiculous.
Why is this allowed?
Why is this acceptable?
Yeah. Especially, it's like, think about it, you're like, a 12-year-old kid and you think you might be trans and you're trying to learn from this other older person who's talking
Yeah.
about it, and before you watch their content you have to have Jesus tell you that you're a bad person.
Yeah.
Like, how fucked up is that?
Mm-mm.
But like, yeah, like, why are we not, why are the ads not just tailored to the audience instead of being like, we're not going to monetize on your content or on your website at all because you allow this content?
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. Just
It's
be
so-
like, I don't want my ads on this type of content and I don't want these type of ads on my content.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know why that's so hard.
Yeah.
Like, maybe it's all randomized, or I know it's not randomized because we get targeted ads.
Yeah.
Also, if I get another goddamn ad for fucking Joe Rogan's podcast, I'm gonna shoot myself.
If I get another ad for Michael's, I'm gonna shoot myself.
I don't understand why I keep getting Joe Rogan podcast ads. Like, I will get the exact same one over and over and over again until I get tired and like report it and tell it that I don't want to see this anymore, and then it will just give me another Joe Rogan ad, and I'm like, I don't care about this man. I don't know why you think I do.
You listen to commentary, so you must listen to Joe Rogan.
Yeah, apparently. Meanwhile, every time like one of his fucking ads come up, at this point it's just like an anger response. I just have like rage response to Joe Rogan's face.
Activate.
Even
your
like he
fight or
has
flight.
interesting people on there, but I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch this. If I wasn't already watching him, then I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone already knows who he is. Like, why are you advertising this to me?
Right. I've been on Reddit once. I know who Joe Rogan is.
Right.
Also, I keep getting Michael's ads because I put in applications there. And now, every day, all the time, it's Michael's!
Yeah. I also, this was like so, it made me so angry, but like after Trout died, I was just constantly getting like healthcare for dogs ads. Like for
Cool.
healthy food or like flea and tick, whatever. And I'm like, everything is awful. And I want to die.
Yeah, I've been getting ads for things to do with your loved one's ashes.
Mm.
So that's super fun.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. I hate ads. Fuck
Stop
ads.
it.
No more ads.
No more.
Ads should not be allowed anymore. I'm tired. I don't need your bullshit.
I'm for that. Let's ban ads.
Like, if I want a product, I'll go look for it.
Right? I feel like you shouldn't be able to tell me.
Yeah.
Because A, that gets me into trouble. And B, like, it's never anything that I need.
Yeah. Like, stop it. Also, like, we've talked about this before, just the squad. How fucked up is it that when you look up a movie trailer or a game trailer, which is an ad, more or less,
It's
on
an
YouTube,
ad.
there's still an ad on it.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta watch an ad before I can watch this ad.
Right?
Like, what the
This is
fuck?
fucking stupid.
I'm already watching. I'm like going out of my way to look at this one, and then you gotta show me more? Fuck you. Ad. I don't like ads, so please don't put ads on my ads. Thank you very much. If you heard I like ads, you heard wrong.
Hate it. I'm just gonna start reporting every ad that I see. No.
I mean, it's a good way to skip them.
Offensive.
That's the thing, too. At least on YouTube. You can't, like, report them for being offensive. It's, like, repetitive or irrelevant. But it's not, like, I can't report an ad for being fucked up. Or, like, gross.
Or bad.
Yeah. Also, the number of times, like, I see them on Asshole Design all the time on Reddit, like, the number of times that those weird fucking, like, porn-ish ads, because the games aren't even porn games. They're always just stupid games that, like, the ad has nothing to do with the actual game, but it's like
Yeah.
this weird fucking cartoon sex scene scandal thing situation is the ad, and they're, like, always on kids' videos.
That's disgusting.
Right? It's like, what the fuck?
Stop marketing that to children.
Yeah, it's weird.
That should be harassment.
Yeah.
You know? It is harassment. That should be punishable.
Right? Just stop it. Get some help.
I'm gonna steal this goofball.
This one is softer for some reason.
I kind of like how it's pokey.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ooh. That's
What
nice.
a lovely cat solo. But yeah, I'm tired of ads. I want them to go away.
Just no more ads and pay your creators. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Thank you.
I didn't offer any solutions, but you're welcome.
But this is a problem. Figure it out.
Yeah. Listen, I'm only smart enough to identify the problem, not fix it. Okay, that's someone else's
fixed
job.
a problem in my life.
I am a
Have
problem.
you looked at my life? It is a problem.
I was born and I was like, that's a problem, and then I haven't figured out how to fix it.
I figured out how to fix it, but not without making everybody around me sad.
Well, that's kind of all I have to say on the matter.
Good argument, though. Like, I'm gonna have to agree with a lot of that.
I just want things to be different.
I want things to be better. But I don't feel like I'm gonna see it.
Right? I think I'm gonna see things get worse, and then I'm gonna die.
Same. Well,
Thanks for coming to this uplifting podcast. Bye.